Hello everyone. Hi guys. How are you all? Hi everyone. Okay. So hello everyone. Hi guys. How are you all? So I welcome you all in today's module B marathon session. So we have already done module A marathon session in the last Sunday. Now we have to discuss module B marathon of IEIFS. So module B, we know that the all complete module is very conceptual. This actually you will get a lot of questions from module B. So everyone, whoever is watching this session, kindly just please comment and please just like and share the video to the maximum you can. Everyone just please like and share the video to the maximum you can. And let's start discussing the particular questions. The very first question, very good question, very simple question. Don't afraid with the length of question. It's a very simple, very easy question. So let's start discussing with the very first question. So in a recent economics seminar, several participants discussed various types of inflation and their implication for the economy. Now consider these four scenarios. A country one experience a consistent annual inflation rate of 2.5%. Another nation sees an inflation rate of 7%, causing noticeable price hike and some public concern. A third country face an alarming situation where the price doubles in just a few months, causing widespread economic instability. And fourth, there is a nation have an inflation rate of 15%, resulting in the significant but manageable increase in the cost of living. Now, according to these four statements, which of the following statement is or are true? Scenario 1 describe runaway inflation as the price increases steadily at 2.5%. Scenario 2 illustrate a creeping inflation as its fall within the low inflation rate. Scenario 3 represent galloping inflation given the extreme price growth rate observed. Scenario 4 classified as hyperinflation as it exceeds the threshold for the moderate inflation. So you have to tell me which of the following is the correct answer. Very simple question. So already we have discussed the four type of inflation depending upon the speed. I have told you now there are four types of inflation depending upon the speed. So first is called as the creeping inflation, which is also called as the crawling inflation. Second is called as the trotting inflation, which is also called as walking inflation. Third is called as galloping inflation, which is called as running. And finally, the fourth is called as hyperinflation, which is also called as the runaway inflation. Okay, and the rate I have told you, if it is between 0 to 3%, then creeping. 3 to 10%, and then it is trotting. 10 to 1000% galloping. Over and above 1000%, then it is called as hyperinflation. So depending upon these four inflation, you have to tell me which of the following statement is or are correct. Everyone, please answer this question and please at least like and share the video to the maximum you can. Everyone, kindly join the session and please like and share the video to the maximum you can. Everyone, you guys, please answer this question. So the correct answer is what? Very simple question. If we talk about the first particular point, a country experience a consistent annual rate of 2.5%. So it is 2.5%. So we know that it is creeping inflation. Second is 7%. We know that it is trotting inflation, or you can say walking inflation. Third, the prices is doubling in just a few months. It is a galloping inflation. And fourth is also a galloping inflation. Fourth is also a galloping inflation. So if we talk about the correct statement, okay, so correct statement is, first of all, scenario one describe runaway inflation. Okay, so runaway inflation 2.5%, no. Scenario one is not a runaway inflation, it is a creeping inflation. Second, scenario two is a creeping, no, it is a trotting inflation. Third, scenario three is a galloping inflation, right? So, scenario three, we have defined it as the galloping inflation. And fourth is again a galloping inflation. If fourth is classified as hyperinflation, false, because hyperinflation goes beyond 1,000%. So, here, third means C is the correct answer. Anyone, any doubt? Everyone, any doubt? Everyone, you guys, whoever is watching this session, done? Okay, next question. Choose the correct statement. Now we have to choose the correct statement here. The problem of economics arises from the plenty of resources. Okay, now we have to choose the correct statement. The first, the problem of economics arises from the plenty of resources. Okay. Second, the term economics owes its origin to the Greek word oikonomia, which means household. Now we have to choose the correct statement. Very simple question, not a rocket science, right? Very simple question. The basic definition of economics you have asked. The first, the problem of economics arises from the plenty of resources. And second, the term economics owes its origin to the Greek word oikonomia, which means household. Now you have to tell me which of the following statement is or are correct, everyone. So first, economics. What is an economics? So economics means because the resources are limited, because the resources are scarce, so the distribution of scarce resources of an economy so that it can fulfill the needs and wants of individual as well as the complete society, right? That is called as the economics. Okay, so the first statement is saying the problem of economics arise from the plenty of resources. Plenty of resources, no, we have scarcity. Every problem of economics arises from a scarcity of the resources, not plenty of the resources. And that's why first is the wrong statement. Second, the word economics owes its origin from the Greek word oikonomia, which means household or household management. That is correct. So only second is the correct statement. First is the wrong statement. Clear? So B is the correct answer. Right, Ashish? B is the correct answer. Okay. Now, next question in the realm of economics. Okay, now just understand the question carefully and then answer. In the realm of the economics, various fundamental problems must be addressed when making the decision about the production and the consumption. One of these problem focuses on determining the specific group of individual who ultimately enjoy the benefit of the goods produced. Now, which of the following option best describe this economics dilemma? Now, here one of the problem focuses on how the specific group of individual ultimately enjoy the benefit of the goods produced. Now, which is this problem? The question of how to produce goods efficiently, the question of for whom to produce good, the question of what to produce good, and none of the above. So the correct answer is everyone, you can all answer this question. Guys, very simple, very easy question. In the realm of economics, various fundamental problems must be addressed when making decision about the production and consumption. So here question is that there is a problem which actually focuses on how the specific group of individual, or who will be the specific group of individual who finally enjoy the production of goods produce or production of goods and services. So the correct answer is, it is actually dealing with the problem for whom the production is based. So the question is, for whom to the goods are to be produced. Okay, that is the correct answer, because this particular says that who enjoy the benefit of the good produce. It means that it is actually questioning for whom the goods is to be produced. Okay, then so we have three problem of economics, if you all remember. Okay, what to produce, how to produce, and third is for whom to produce. What to produce, how to produce, and for produce. Clear? Done? Next question. Economics is a study of, very simple question. Economics is a study of how society manages its unlimited resources, how to reduce our want until we are satisfied, how society manages its scarce resources which have alternative use, how to fully satisfy our limited wants. So the correct answer is what? Everyone, please answer this question. Economics is a study of what? Everyone, please answer this question. Very simple question. I know you can all answer this question effectively. Everyone, I am waiting. Please answer. Economics is a study of how society manages its unlimited resources, how to reduce our want until we are satisfied, how society manages its scarce resource which have alternative use, and how to satisfy our limited want. First of all, because we have limited resource, we don't have unlimited resource. So first option is wrong. We have always limited resource, not unlimited resource. Next, how to reduce our want until we are satisfied, that is not economics. Okay, now see, how to fully satisfy our limited wants. Are our wants limited? No, we have unlimited wants. Okay, so all of three has some things which are not present in the economics, so they are eliminated. So the obvious correct answer is C. And we know that the economics definition says that because we have a scarcity of resources which have a different use, which have alternate use. Like for example, there is one thing, they have certain uses. So how manage our scarce resources which have different alternative use, that is called as economics. That is called as what? E- so C is the correct answer. Done? Clear? Okay. Now next, the term micro and macro was first introduced by, the term micro and macro. I have already told this to all of you. The term micro and macro was very first introduced by whom? The term micro and macro was first introduced by whom? Adam Smith, Ragnar Frisch, J.M. Keynes, or none of the above? You can all answer this question. Very simple question. Micro and macro. I have told you, right? If you all remember, I have told you who introduced this term micro and macro for the very first time. So, if we talk about the word micro and macro, I have told you in 1933 there was an economist whose name was Ragnar Frisch. Ragnar Frisch first coined this word micro and macro. right? So the correct answer is B. Now, Adam Smith, he is known as the father of modern economics. He is known as the father of modern economics as well as micro also. Whereas J.M. Keynes, he is known as the father of macroeconomics. Clear? And the very first person who introduced this word micro and macro was Ragnar Frisch. Okay. Now, next question. Now, see, very simple question. Don't afraid with the length of the question and then answer. We have these four situations. You have to analyze these four statements and characterize them into micro or macroeconomics. Okay. So there is a small business owner decide to raise price in response to higher borrowing cost. You have to determine which of the following is micro or which of the following is macro. So there is the small business who owner who decide to raise price in response to higher borrowing cost. A government report says that or shows that national unemployment rate has increased due to the slowdown in economic growth. Third, a consumer chooses to delay purchasing a new car because higher monthly loan payment. Fourth, an economist analyzes how changes in consumer confidence affect overall GDP. So tell me which of the following is the correct answer, everyone. Consider the following statement and tell me which of the following is the correct answer. Everyone, please answer this question. Everyone, guys, please answer this question. We have to consider it and then answer. Everyone. The correct answer is what? Very simple. Now let's talk about all the four statements and characterize them into micro and macroeconomics. So microeconomics, we know that it deals with the individual unit. I've already explained this in the class. And macroeconomics is deals with nation as a whole. Okay. A small business owner decide to raise the price. It is microeconomics because it is dealing with the individual unit. A government report says that national unemployment rate, obviously, we are considering nation as a whole, so it is macro. A consumer decided or chooses to delay purchasing a new car. There is a consumer, it means it is micro. An economist analyze how changes in consumer confidence affect overall GDP. It is concerning with the national interest. Now, statement 1 is micro, right? Statement 2 is macro. Correct answer? This is correct. A is the correct answer. Statement 3 is macro. False. Statement 4 is micro. False. Statement 1 and 3 are macro. 1 and 3 are micro. 2 and 4 are macro. False. 2 is micro. No. False. So A is the correct answer. Not B. Why B? Third is not a macroeconomics. Third is a microeconomics. A consumer chooses to delay the purchasing of new car. It is dealing with the individual unit, not with the whole nation. So it is micro, not macro. Okay, guys? Done? Yes or no? Any doubt here? Guys, everyone just please like and share the video to the maximum you can. Whoever is watching this session, kindly please like and share the video to the maximum you can. Clear? Good. Now next question. In a laissez-faire economy, again, I have explained what is a laissez-faire concept. The consumer take all the decision regarding the production of all the commodities. The government doesn't interfere in the free functioning of demand and supply forces in the market. The private sector takes all the decision for the price determination of various commodity produced, and the government control the allocation of the factors of the production. Everyone, please answer this question, guys. Everyone, please answer this question. Laissez-faire, the government, the customer takes all the decision regarding the production of all the commodity. The government doesn't interfere in the free functioning of demand and supply. The private sector takes all the decision for the price determination of various commodity produced. The government control the allocation of the factors of production. Everyone, please answer this question. Everyone. Laissez-faire, very simple. Now I have explained it very simple. Laissez-faire. Everyone, just please answer this question. I'm coming in 5 minutes. Please answer this question. Okay. Now, just tell me the correct answer, everyone. Everyone, just tell me the correct answer. So, in a laissez-faire economy, when we are talking about the laissez-faire economy, it is actually meant as non-interference. Okay, and remember, it is used for those economy where the private sector dominates the economy and the government interference is very less. Right. So, non-interference means capitalist, means laissez-faire. So the customer take all the decision. No, the government doesn't interfere in the free functioning of demand and supply. That is the correct answer. Okay, right? So laissez-faire, actually the concept means the non-interference of the government. So B is the correct answer. Done. Next question. Which of the following is or are the characteristics of capitalist system of economy? Capitalist: competition, income equality, minimum governmental intervention. Now tell me, which of the following is or are the characteristics of a capitalist economy? Select the correct code. First and third, second and third, only third, or first, second, third. Please answer this question, everyone. Which of the following is or are the characteristic of capitalist system of the economy? Everyone, please answer this question. Capitalist system of the economy. The correct answer is what? Everyone. So when we are talking about the capitalist, first of all, there are competition, yes. Income equality, no, because capitalist economy, private sector dominates the economy, right? So there cannot be income equality in capitalist economy. So no income equality. Third, minimum governmental intervention, yes. So first and third are the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Clear? Done? Everyone? Good. Next question. Movement along the same demand curve is known as extension, contraction, increase, decrease, contraction of supply, or increase in the supply. Very simple question, and I have explained it in detail to all of you. Now, please answer this question. I don't want that you all just answer this wrongly because this is very simple, very easy. Everyone, please answer this question, guys. Everyone, I want your answer, each and every one of you. Each and every one of you, please answer. Okay, movement along the same demand curve. If you all remember, this is a demand curve, and if the demand curve move along the same demand curve, it means upward and downward, it is called as extension and contraction, right? In always remember extension, it means that there is a downward movement of the demand curve, and in contraction there is the upward movement of the demand curve. And extension and contraction occur when price has its effect over the quantity demand and other factors remain constant. Other factors remain constant. Clear? Done? Now next. When there is a change in demand leading to a shift of demand curve to the right, as the same price before, the quantity demand will decrease, increase, remain the same, or contract. Very simple, everyone, please answer this question. When there is a change in the demand leading to a shift of demand curve to the right, leading to a shift of demand curve to the right. As the same price before, the quantity demand will. Everyone, please answer this question. The quantity demand will. Please answer. When there is a change in demand leading to a shift of demand curve to the right, as the same price, at the same price before, the quantity demand will what? Everyone. So the correct answer is very simple. At the same price before, it means that here the price is constant and other factors are variable. And when the demand curve is shifting to the right, it means that there is an increase in the demand curve, not decrease, increase in the demand curve. Okay. Okay. Now let's talk about the next question. According to law of diminishing marginal utility, as the amount of good consumed increases, the marginal utility of that product tends to improve, diminishing, remain constant, or first diminish and then improve. Law of diminishing marginal utility. This is the supply and demand chapter, if you all remember. Law of diminishing marginal utility. Everyone. Law of diminishing marginal utility. Everyone, please answer. According to law of diminishing marginal utility, as the amount of good increase, as the amount of good consumed increase, the marginal utility of the goods tends to improve, diminish, remain constant, or first diminish, then improve. Everyone, please answer. The correct answer is what? Okay, so when we are talking about diminishing marginal utility, It says that when we are consuming the same and same of the product, the additional satisfaction which we are getting from the consumption of that product tends to diminish, right? So the correct answer is B. The correct answer is B. Okay, next. Which of the following is not a correct statement again according to the law of diminishing marginal utility? First, when the total utility is maximum, marginal utility is zero. When total utility is decreasing, marginal utility is negative. When total utility is increasing, marginal utility is positive. And when total utility is a max, marginal utility and average utility are equal. Everyone. Not a correct statement. Everyone. Which of the following is not a correct statement? Everyone, please answer. Not a correct statement. When total utility is maximum, marginal utility is zero. When total utility is decreasing, marginal utility is negative. When total utility is increasing, marginal utility is positive. So there are three stages of law of depletion marginal utility. First, when total utility is increasing, marginal utility is declining, but it is in the positive numbers. Okay. Second, when total utility is maximum, marginal utility is actually what? Zero. And when total utility is declining, marginal utility goes to negative, right? So these three statements are correct. Total utility is max, in which marginal utility and average utility are equal. That is the wrong statement. So D is the correct answer. Okay, done? Good. Next question. The supply of a goods refers to, first, amount of the good offered for sale as a particular price per unit of the time. Total existing stock of the good, stock available for sale, or actual production of the good. Supply of good refers to what? Supply of good refers to what? Everyone, please answer. Where are everyone? Why everyone is absent from the class? I have told you all that this is a very, very important thing for all of you. So why you are all absent? The supply of good refers to what? Everyone, please answer this question. The supply of goods refers to what? Amount of good offered for sale at a particular price per unit of time. Total existing stock of the good, stock available for sale, or actual production of the good. So it is the amount good offered for sale at a particular price per unit of time. That is called as the supply of. Next, we have to choose the correct statement here. First, choices is created by abundance of the resources. Second, goods and services are produced at least cost and no resources are wasted. In mixed economy, all the decisions are taken by central authority. In a free market economy, the allocation of resources is determined by consumer preference. And fifth, when the supply curve moves to the left, it means that supply is increasing. Very simple question. Answer the following question. Everyone, please. Answer the following question, guys. Everyone. Simple, easy question. Simple, easy question. Choose the correct statement here, everyone. Now we have to choose the correct statement here. Everyone, please answer this question. Okay. So choice is created by abundance of resources. No, we don't have abundance of resources. We have scarcity of resources. Goods and services are produced at least cost and no resources are wasted. False. In mixed economy, all the decisions are taken by the central authority first. In free market economy, the allocation of resources is determined by the consumer preference, right? If a supply curve move to left, it means that the supply increasing first. So if we talk about this, in only 4 is the correct answer. And when we are talking about this, second can also be the correct one, because here the recommendation are given. Goods and services should be produced at least cost with no resources wasted, right? So second and fourth are the correct statement. First, third, and fifth are the wrong statement. So C is the correct answer. Ashish, C is the correct answer. Okay, done. Next question. We have to choose the incorrect statement. Again, look carefully. Now we have to choose the incorrect statement. Broad money M1 is equals to currency with the public plus demand deposit with the banking system plus other deposit with RBI. Okay. Narrow money M3 is M1 plus time deposit plus other deposit. M4 is M3 plus all deposit with post office saving bank, and reserve money is M0, which is currency in circulation plus bankers deposit with RBI plus other deposit with RBI. Everyone please answer this question. Everyone please answer this question. Simple. You can all answer this question. Incorrect statement. We have to choose the incorrect statement, guys. Incorrect statement. We have to choose incorrect statement. Choose the incorrect statement, everyone. Okay. So first, broad money is currency with the public plus demand deposit with the banking system plus other deposit with the RBI. Now, if you look carefully, M1 is written correct, but M1 is not known as broad money. M1 is called as narrow money, and M3 it is called as broad money, right? So first and second statement are wrong and third and fourth are correct. So if we have to choose the incorrect statement, it is first and second, right? A is the correct answer. Okay, everyone, done. Next question. Consider the following statement. Okay, first, the weightage of food in consumer price index is higher than that in wholesale price index. CPI, the weightage of food in CPI is higher than that in WPI. Second, WPI doesn't capture the changes in the prices of services with CPI does. Third, the RBI has now adopted WPI as the key measure of inflation. Everyone, please answer. Now, everyone, please answer this question. Everyone, you guys, please answer this question. Choose the following statement, everyone. Okay. So, we have two ways to calculate inflation: consumer price index and wholesale price index. These are the two ways to calculate inflation. First, the weightage of food in CPI is higher than in WPI, correct? In consumer price index, the weightage of food is higher in comparison to WPI. WPI doesn't capture the changes in the prices which CPI does. Correct statements, because in CPI the changes of goods and services both are taken, but in WPI only the changes in the prices of goods taken. RBI has adopted WPI as its key measure of inflation first. RBI has adopted CPI, Consumer Price Index, as its key measure of inflation, right? So first and second are the correct statement and the rest are wrong. Clear? So A is the correct answer. Everyone. Done? Okay. Next question. Consider the following statement. RBI uses CPI, Consumer Price Index, released by National Statistical Office for inflation purpose. Second, base year for CPI is 2004 to 5. So tell me which of the following is the correct statement here. Everyone, please answer this question. Easy, simple, easy and simple. You have to answer this question. Very easy, very simple question. Everyone. Everyone. RBI uses Consumer Price Index released by National Statistical Office for inflation purpose. True. Second, base year for Consumer Price Index is 2004 to 5. That is wrong. It is 2011 to 12, right? So the correct answer is, if we talk about the correct statement, only one is the correct statement. Second is the wrong. Okay, done. Now next. Which of the following committee is inflation targeting? Everyone please answer. Which of the following committee is inflation targeting? Which of the following committee is inflation targeting? Which of the following committee is inflation targeting? Everyone. Inflation targeting. So, Urjit Patel committee is related to inflation. Okay. Patel committee is inflation targeting. Next. There is a general decline in a demand as economic activity slows down. Okay. Now, inflation remains low or show further sign of falling. Employment falls. Unemployment rises. Industries resort to price cut to stay in business. Now you have to tell me there is a general decline in the demand as economic activity slows down. Okay. Now, which of the following statements are correct? These are the characteristics of which type of phase of economy? Depression, recovery, boom, or recession? So, first is general decline in the demand. Second, inflation means the prices are low. Employment falls, unemployment rises. And the prices, industries are cutting the prices. All the statements are, these are actually the characteristics of depression, recovery, boom, or recession. Everyone, please answer. This is actually what? This is actually what? So the correct answer is, so above statements, these are the characteristic of recession. So D is the correct answer. Done? Clear? Good. Next. Which of the following doesn't come under the revenue expenditure? Doesn't come under the revenue expenditure. Very simple. Which of the following doesn't come under the revenue expenditure? Simple. So, subsidies, revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure means which neither decreases any financial liability, which nor increases any type of asset, right? So, which of the following does not come? Subsidies is a revenue expenditure. Interest payment is a revenue expenditure. Pension is also a revenue expenditure. So none of the above is the correct answer. Everyone, just give me 1 minute. Okay, done. Now next. Which of the following is definitely a major indication of the state of economy as a country or of a country? Major indication of a state of economy for a country. Everyone. Which of the following is a major indication for the state of economy of a country? Rate of GDP growth, rate of inflation, number of banks in a country, or stock of food grains in a country. Everyone. Yes, rate of GDP growth. Perfect, Shravani. A is the correct answer. Next. High fiscal deficit is a cause for concern for any economy. What does it do? High fiscal deficit. It is the measure of borrowings of an economy. It is the excess of total expenditure over total receipt, excluding borrowing. It reflects the decrease in the tax collection for the year. It means the lack of liquidity and earning for the economy. High fiscal deficit. Actually, what does high fiscal deficit meant? Everyone. High fiscal deficit meant. Everyone. What is a high fiscal deficit? Please answer. Just tell me the correct answer, everyone. High fiscal deficit is a cause of concern for any economy. What does it indicate? Yes, it is the total expenditure minus income, exclude the borrowings, right? So B is the correct answer. Done. Next, what is stagflation? Now tell me, what is a stagflation? It is inflation with growth. It is deflation with the growth. It is inflation after deflation, or it is inflation with the depression. Everyone, now answer this question. What is stagflation? Tell me, what is a stagflation? Inflation with the growth, deflation with the growth, inflation after deflation, or inflation with the depression? Everyone. So the correct answer is yes. No, Shravani, it is not inflation with the growth. Stagflation is a combination of three things: inflation plus recession plus unemployment, right? So when in economy, these three exist together. Overall economy facing inflation, sectors are in recession and unemployment are there, then it is a stagflation. So you can say it is inflation with depression. So that is called as a stagflation. That is called as what? Stagflation. Clear? Next. Which is not a revenue receipt. Revenue receipt. Recovery of the loan, foreign grants, profit of the public enterprises, and wealth tax. Not a revenue receipt. Everyone. Revenue receipt, not a revenue receipt. Everyone. Which of the following is not a revenue receipt? Everyone, please answer this question. So it is not a revenue receipt. Yes, we can say the foreign grants. This is the revenue expenditure, right? So B can also be the answer as well as can also be the answer. So this question is actually wrong. Foreign grants is expenditure. First of all, it cannot be a revenue receipt. And second, recovery of the loan, it is the capital receipt. Okay. So the question is wrong. A and B both can be the answer. Okay, done. Next. According to which article the budget word is replaced by annual financial statement? According to which article the budget word is replaced by Annual financial statement. Everyone, please answer. According to which article the budget word is replaced by annual financial statement? So, according to Article 112, budget word is replaced by annual financial statement. And the last question of this class is Urjit Patel was associated with the committee on which of the following topics? Monetary policy reform, financial inclusion, restructuring of FCIs, and fraud and malpractices in the bank. Everyone. Urjit Patel committee is associated with what? Everyone. The last question. Urjit Patel committee is associated with what? So yes, it is related with the monetary policy reform. Okay, so this is the complete marathon, guys, for all of you. I hope that you have all enjoyed the questions as well as you have all enjoyed the session completely. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this video. Please, everyone, like and share the video to the maximum you can. And if you haven't subscribed this channel yet, is a request, guys, that please subscribe this channel and press the bell notification icon, because whenever I will be live, I will be taking the marathon. This marathon will be live on this channel only, right? Second thing is, tomorrow is Sunday, and at 12 noon we have the marathon session again for PPB module B. So everyone, don't miss out the session, and kindly everyone join the session. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care. Bye bye, guys. Bye, everyone. Take care.